The 2026 Mazda 6 marks one of the most important launches in Mazda's recent history. For years, enthusiasts have known Mazda as a company that builds stylish, driver-focused cars with a unique personality. But when it came to electric vehicles, the brand appeared to be moving more cautiously than many of its rivals. Now that changes with the arrival of the Mazda 6e, an all-electric liftback that aims to bring the famous Mazda 6 name into a completely new era. This is not just another electric sedan entering an increasingly crowded market. It represents Mazda's attempt to combine its traditional strengths of design, quality, and driving enjoyment with the technology and efficiency that modern electric vehicle buyers demand. The result is a car that could become one of the most significant products Mazda has introduced in years. At first glance, the Mazda 6V immediately grabs attention. In a market where many electric vehicles seem to prioritize aerodynamics over visual appeal, Mazda has managed to create something genuinely attractive. The sleek silhouette, low stance, and flowing bodylines make it look far more expensive than its expected price suggests. It carries forward Mazda's elegant design philosophy, while introducing new elements that suit the electric age. The front end features a modern interpretation of Mazda's signature grille design, while slim headlights and carefully sculpted body panels give the car a premium appearance. Finished in Mazda's famous Soul Red paint, the 6e stands out in a way that few competitors can match. What makes the styling even more impressive is the fact that the Mazda 6e is built through Mazda's partnership with Chinese automotive giant Changan. Some buyers may initially assume that means this is simply a rebadged vehicle with minimal Mazda influence. However, the reality is more complicated. While the platform is shared with the Changan Deepal SL03, and the vehicle was initially introduced in China as the Mazda EZ6, Mazda has invested significant effort into giving the car its own identity. The exterior design feels unmistakably Mazda, and many people would never guess its origins simply by looking at it. In many ways, it succeeds in capturing the spirit of the old Mazda 6 while embracing a modern electric future. The return of the Mazda 6 name is especially significant because the original model earned a loyal following around the world. Drivers appreciated its balance of comfort, practicality, and engaging handling. It offered a refreshing alternative to more mainstream family sedans, and developed a reputation as one of the most enjoyable cars in its segment. Replacing such a well-loved model is never easy, particularly when switching from traditional combustion engines to full electric power. Expectations are naturally high, and Mazda knows that simply delivering another electric vehicle will not be enough. Buyers expect the 6e to carry forward the qualities that made previous Mazda 6 models special. One of the biggest advantages of the new 6e is its positioning in the market. Mazda Australia has indicated that pricing could start below $55,000 Australian dollars before on-road costs. If the company achieves that target, the 6e could become one of the most compelling electric vehicles in its class. That price places it directly against established rivals such as the Tesla Model 3 and the BYD Seal. These vehicles have enjoyed strong sales thanks to their combination of technology, efficiency, and value. But Mazda believes it can attract buyers by offering something different. Instead of focusing solely on performance figures and digital features, the 6e aims to deliver a more premium and emotionally appealing ownership experience. Stepping inside the cabin reveals just how dramatically Mazda is evolving. Traditional Mazda interiors have often been praised for their thoughtful ergonomics, physical controls, and driver-focused layouts. The 6e takes a very different approach. Dominating the dashboard is a huge 14.6-inch touchscreen that controls the majority of the vehicle's functions. Climate settings, drive modes, and even adjustments that would normally use physical switches are now handled through the display. This creates a clean and modern appearance, but it also represents a significant departure from what longtime Mazda owners may be accustomed to. The minimalist layout clearly reflects trends that have become popular in China and among many electric vehicle manufacturers. Large screens and simplified dashboards are increasingly common, and the Mazda 6 embraces that philosophy completely. Some drivers will appreciate the futuristic atmosphere, while others may miss the tactile controls that have traditionally been a Mazda strength. The removal of the familiar rotary controller, which many owners loved for its ease of use while driving, will likely be one of the most controversial changes. Even so, the system appears responsive and visually impressive, helping the cabin feel modern and technologically advanced. Fortunately, Mazda has not sacrificed material quality in pursuit of minimalism. During early evaluations, the interior impressed with its premium feel and attention to detail. Soft touch surfaces are found throughout the cabin, while higher trims feature attractive leather upholstery and upscale trim materials. The floating center console creates a spacious atmosphere, and the overall presentation rivals vehicles that cost considerably more. In some respects, the fit and finish even approaches levels associated with luxury brands. This commitment to quality helps distinguish the 6e from some competitors that focus heavily on technology while neglecting tactile refinement. Space is another area where the Mazda performs strongly. Thanks to its dedicated electric platform and long wheelbase, passengers enjoy significantly more room than they would have found in the previous gasoline-powered Mazda 6. Front occupants have generous space and multiple storage areas, while rear passengers benefit from impressive legroom and a flat floor. Even taller passengers can travel comfortably, although the sloping roofline slightly reduces headroom compared with more upright designs. Overall, the cabin feels airy and accommodating, making it a practical option for families and daily commuters alike. Perhaps one of the most useful design choices is the liftback body style. Although many people will initially assume the Mazda 6e is a traditional sedan, the rear hatch opens together with the rear glass, creating a much larger cargo opening. This makes loading larger items far easier than in many competing electric sedans. The practicality advantage may seem minor on paper, but it becomes highly valuable in everyday use. Whether carrying luggage, sports equipment, or household items, owners will appreciate the flexibility offered by the liftback design. Underneath the stylish bodywork sits a powertrain that appears well suited to the needs of modern buyers. The Australian version is expected to combine a substantial battery pack with a single rear-mounted electric motor. The battery has a capacity of 78 kilowatt-hours and uses lithium iron phosphate chemistry. This technology has become increasingly popular because it offers excellent durability and allows regular charging to 100%, without the same concerns about long-term degradation associated with some other battery types. For owners planning to keep their vehicle for many years, this could prove to be a significant advantage. The motor produces approximately 190 kilowatts, sending power exclusively to the rear wheels. Rear-wheel drive remains relatively uncommon in this segment, and it gives the Mazda a potentially more engaging character than many front-wheel drive alternatives. While the performance figures will not challenge high-performance electric vehicles, they should provide more than enough acceleration for everyday driving. Early testing suggests the car can reach 100 kilometers per hour in just over 7 seconds, placing it comfortably within the expectations of the segment. More importantly, power delivery is smooth and predictable, contributing to the relaxed driving experience Mazda appears to be targeting. Range is another area where the Mazda 6 performs competitively. Preliminary figures suggest more than 500 kilometers of driving range under the worldwide harmonized light vehicle test procedure cycle, while some international versions are rated at up to 348 miles. These numbers place the Mazda among the stronger performers in its class, and should eliminate most range anxiety concerns for typical owners. Combined with fast charging capability that allows significant battery replenishment in a short period, the 6e appears capable of handling both daily commuting and longer road trips with confidence. The specifications alone make the Mazda 6 an interesting proposition. But numbers only tell part of the story. What will ultimately determine its success is whether Mazda can deliver the blend of comfort, refinement, and driving enjoyment that has traditionally defined the brand. Early impressions suggest there is considerable potential here, but also a few areas that still require attention before the vehicle reaches showrooms. Once out on the road, the 2026 Mazda 6 begins to reveal its true character. Like many modern electric vehicles, it prioritizes refinement and ease of use. But the way it achieves those goals is slightly different from some of its rivals. During initial drives of pre-production models, the first thing many testers noticed was just how quiet the car feels. Electric vehicles naturally eliminate engine noise, but Mazda has also paid close attention to suppressing road and wind noise. At urban speeds, the cabin remains impressively calm, creating a relaxed environment that suits the vehicle's premium ambitions. The suspension setup also plays a major role in shaping the driving experience. At lower speeds, the ride quality is one of the car's strongest attributes. Small bumps, rough surfaces, and road imperfections are absorbed with impressive composure. Many electric vehicles struggle to balance comfort with the additional weight of their battery packs, often resulting in a firm or unsettled ride. The Mazda 6 takes a softer approach, allowing it to glide over imperfections that might disturb some competitors. For everyday commuting and city driving, this tuning creates a pleasant sense of comfort that many buyers will appreciate. However, the same softness that benefits comfort can become more noticeable when driving at higher speeds. Early test vehicles displayed a tendency to feel slightly floaty over crests and dips in the road. Instead of maintaining a tightly controlled body movement, the car occasionally allows more vertical motion than enthusiasts might prefer. Through corners, bumps can unsettle the chassis more than expected, and the vehicle does not always deliver the precise body control associated with some of Mazda's best products. This creates an interesting contrast because Mazda has built much of its reputation around driving enjoyment. The company often speaks about its Jinba Itai philosophy, which translates to a feeling of horse and rider moving as one. That principle has influenced everything from the iconic MX-5 sports car to family vehicles such as the Mazda 3 and CX-5. In its current form, the 6e does not fully replicate that sensation. Instead, it feels more focused on comfort and refinement than outright driver engagement. That does not necessarily mean the driving experience is disappointing. In fact, many buyers in this segment are likely to prioritize comfort over sportness. Vehicles such as the Tesla Model 3, Hyundai Ioniq 6, and Volkswagen ID.7 attract customers looking for efficiency, technology, and practicality rather than sports car handling. From that perspective, the Mazda's relaxed nature may actually appeal to a large audience. It feels mature, easy to drive, and well suited to long-distance travel. The steering system contributes positively to the experience. Initial impressions suggest that steering response is reasonably sharp and accurately weighted. Unlike some electric vehicles that isolate the driver from the road entirely, the Mazda maintains a degree of communication through the steering wheel. It may not be as engaging as older gasoline-powered Mazdas, but it avoids feeling artificial or detached. This helps preserve at least some connection between driver and machine. Acceleration is another area where expectations should be realistic. With approximately 190 kilowatts available from the rear-mounted electric motor, the 6e delivers brisk rather than breathtaking performance. Electric motors provide instant torque, so the car feels responsive when pulling away from traffic lights or overtaking slower vehicles. Everyday driving requires very little effort, and highway merging is handled confidently. What it does not do is deliver the dramatic acceleration associated with high-performance electric vehicles. Some dual-motor competitors can push occupants back into their seats with startling force, producing acceleration figures that rival supercars. The Mazda takes a more measured approach, reaching 100 km per hour in roughly 7.5 seconds is certainly quick enough for daily use. But the focus remains on smoothness rather than excitement. In many ways, this fits the vehicle's overall personality. It is designed to be a refined grand tourer rather than an aggressive performance machine. One encouraging sign is that Mazda is already aware of the areas requiring improvement. The vehicles driven by journalists were pre-production examples, and Mazda has a long history of conducting local ride and handling development programs before launching products in individual markets. Australian roads, for example, often expose weaknesses that might not appear elsewhere. Mazda engineers are expected to fine-tune the suspension and chassis calibration before the final production version reaches customers. If they succeed in tightening body control while preserving the comfortable ride, the result could be a significantly more polished vehicle. The underlying platform appears fundamentally capable, and the issues identified during early drives seem more related to tuning than major engineering shortcomings. That means there is genuine reason for optimism ahead of the official launch. Technology is another major selling point for the Mazda 6e. Modern electric vehicle buyers increasingly expect sophisticated digital features, and Mazda has responded by equipping the car with an extensive range of technology. The large central touchscreen serves as the hub for navigation, media vehicle settings, and connectivity features. The graphics are modern and attractive, helping the system feel competitive with class leaders. A fully digital instrument display provides key driving information directly in front of the driver, while a head-up display projects important data onto the windshield. This allows drivers to monitor speed, navigation instructions, and safety alerts without taking their eyes off the road. Together, these systems create a highly modern driving environment that aligns with expectations in the electric vehicle segment. The available panoramic glass roof further enhances the sense of openness inside the cabin. Stretching across much of the roofline, it floods the interior with natural light and makes the already spacious cabin feel even larger. Combined with the minimalist dashboard design, the effect is an airy and welcoming atmosphere that many passengers will find appealing. Audio quality is also expected to be a strong point. Higher specification models are likely to include a premium sound system, designed to take advantage of the vehicle's exceptionally quiet cabin. In an electric vehicle where engine noise is absent, a high-quality audio setup becomes even more noticeable. Music, podcasts, and phone calls can be enjoyed with impressive clarity, adding another layer of refinement to the ownership experience. Practicality remains one of the Mazda 6's most underrated strengths. While many electric vehicles focus heavily on technology and performance statistics, Mazda has ensured that everyday usability remains a priority. The large rear cargo area created by the liftback design provides excellent versatility. Families will appreciate the ease of loading strollers, luggage, and shopping, while active owners can transport larger items without difficulty. Storage solutions throughout the cabin further enhance convenience. The floating center console creates useful spaces for personal items, while multiple charging options help keep devices powered during journeys. Combined with generous passenger accommodation, these features make the 6e a genuinely practical choice, rather than merely an attractive one. Safety is expected to be another important area of focus. Although official crash testing results may not be available immediately, the vehicle is equipped with an extensive suite of active safety technologies. Features such as adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assistance, automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, and driver monitoring systems are likely to be included as standard or widely available across the range. One challenge facing many modern vehicles is the calibration of these systems. Some competitors have been criticized for overly sensitive alerts and intrusive interventions that frustrate drivers rather than assist them. Mazda understands this concern and has indicated that local calibration work is being undertaken to ensure the systems operate naturally and effectively. Achieving the right balance will be essential, because buyers increasingly expect advanced safety features to work seamlessly in the background, without becoming annoying. Another important consideration for potential owners is charging convenience. The 78 kilowatt-hour battery supports fast charging capabilities that place the Mazda among the more competitive offerings in its segment. Depending on market specifications and charging infrastructure, owners can replenish a significant portion of the battery in a relatively short time. This reduces downtime during longer journeys and helps make electric vehicle ownership more practical for a broader range of customers. For home charging, overnight replenishment remains straightforward. Most owners are likely to complete the majority of their charging at home, waking up each morning with a fully charged battery ready for the day ahead. Combined with the battery's durable lithium, iron, phosphate chemistry, the ownership experience promises to be both convenient and reassuring over the long term. As the automotive industry continues its transition toward electrification, the Mazda 6e arrives at a critical moment. Buyers now have more electric choices than ever before, and simply offering an electric powertrain is no longer enough to guarantee success. Vehicles must combine attractive styling, strong technology, practical usability, competitive range, and compelling value. The Mazda appears to check many of those boxes, but its ultimate success will depend on how effectively all of those elements come together in the final production version. Looking at the Mazda 6e as a complete package, it becomes clear that Mazda is trying to achieve something different from many of its competitors. Instead of chasing headline, grabbing acceleration figures, or filling every corner of the car with futuristic gimmicks, the company has focused on creating an electric vehicle that feels premium, practical, and desirable. In many ways, that approach mirrors the philosophy that helped previous Mazda models earn loyal followings around the world. One of the most impressive aspects of the 6e is how successfully it combines style and practicality. Many sleek electric sedans sacrifice interior space or cargo capacity in pursuit of dramatic styling. Mazda has managed to avoid most of those compromises. The low roofline and elegant proportions give the car genuine visual appeal, yet passengers still enjoy a spacious cabin and a surprisingly useful cargo area. The liftback design is particularly valuable because it adds flexibility without altering the car's elegant appearance. The premium feel of the interior is another area where the Mazda stands out. While many manufacturers focus primarily on screens and software, Mazda continues to place significant emphasis on materials and craftsmanship. Even in pre-production form, the cabin demonstrated a level of quality that rivals vehicles positioned much higher in the market. Soft, touch surfaces, carefully assembled trim pieces, and attractive design details help create an environment that feels special every time you step inside. That attention to detail could become a major selling point, because many buyers are beginning to look beyond simple performance statistics when choosing an electric vehicle. Range and charging speed remain important, but comfort, refinement, and quality are equally significant for people who spend hours behind the wheel each week. The Mazda 6e appears well positioned to appeal to those priorities. Of course, competition in this segment is intense. The Tesla Model 3 remains one of the benchmarks for electric sedans thanks to its impressive efficiency, strong performance, and extensive charging infrastructure. Tesla has spent years refining its products and continues to attract buyers who value cutting-edge technology. the Mazda will need to offer compelling advantages if it hopes to lure customers away from such an established competitor. Fortunately, it has several strengths working in its favor. Many buyers prefer traditional automotive craftsmanship over Tesla's minimalist approach, and the Mazda's more premium interior presentation could prove attractive. The liftback body style also offers practical benefits, while the distinctive exterior design gives the car a stronger visual identity than many electric rivals. For drivers who want something different from the increasingly common Model 3, the Mazda provides a refreshing alternative. The BYD Seal represents another major challenge. BYD has rapidly become one of the most influential electric vehicle manufacturers in the world, offering impressive technology and competitive pricing. The Seal delivers strong performance and generous equipment levels, making it a formidable competitor. However, Mazda hopes its established reputation, extensive dealer network, and premium image will help it stand apart from newer brands that may still be building trust among some buyers. The Hyundai Ioniq 6 is also likely to remain a strong rival. Its exceptional aerodynamic efficiency, impressive range, and advanced technology package have earned praise from many reviewers. Yet the Mazda counters with more conventional styling, a richer interior atmosphere, and a driving experience that may feel more familiar to buyers transitioning from traditional sedans. Then there is the Volkswagen ID.7, which focuses heavily on comfort, refinement, and long-distance capability, while the Volkswagen offers excellent practicality and a spacious cabin. The Mazda's more striking design and potentially lower price point could make it an attractive alternative for buyers seeking greater visual appeal. Pricing will ultimately play a huge role in determining the Mazda 6's success. If Mazda achieves its target pricing, the vehicle could become one of the strongest value propositions in the segment. Buyers would receive a stylish electric liftback with premium materials, modern technology, competitive range, and strong practicality for a price that remains within reach of many mainstream customers. In today's market, where electric vehicle prices can quickly climb into premium territory, that combination could prove highly appealing. The battery technology also deserves recognition. The decision to use a lithium iron phosphate battery demonstrates a practical approach to ownership. While some battery chemistries may offer slightly higher energy density, lithium iron phosphate technology provides excellent durability and allows frequent charging to 100% without significant concerns about long-term battery health. For everyday owners, that simplicity and peace of mind can be just as important as outright performance. Charging performance appears competitive as well. Fast charging capabilities allow owners to add substantial range during short stops, helping make longer journeys more convenient. As charging infrastructure continues to improve around the world, the ability to recharge quickly becomes increasingly valuable. Combined with the vehicle's strong range figures, the Mazda 6 should be capable of handling most travel needs without difficulty. One area where Mazda must continue refining the vehicle is the driving experience. The company has built its reputation on producing cars that feel engaging and rewarding behind the wheel. While the 6e already offers a comfortable and refined ride, there is room for improvement in body control and overall chassis balance. The encouraging news is that these characteristics often respond well to suspension tuning and software calibration. If Mazda's engineering team successfully addresses these areas before production begins, the final vehicle could strike an excellent balance between comfort and driver involvement. That would help the 6e stand apart from many competitors that prioritize isolation over engagement. Even a modest improvement in handling precision could significantly enhance the car's appeal to traditional Mazda enthusiasts. The move toward touchscreen-based controls is another aspect that may divide opinion. Some buyers will appreciate the clean, modern appearance and extensive functionality provided by the large display. Others may miss the physical buttons and intuitive rotary controller that have long been Mazda trademarks. Over time, owners will likely adapt to the new system, but it remains one of the more noticeable departures from Mazda's traditional design philosophy. Still, automotive history shows that manufacturers must evolve to remain competitive. Consumer expectations are changing, and digital interfaces are becoming increasingly common across the industry. While the transition may require some adjustment, it reflects the realities of modern vehicle development and customer demand. Perhaps the most important thing about the Mazda 6e is what it represents for the future of the brand. For years, Mazda has been viewed as a company that excels at creating attractive, driver-focused vehicles but has been slower than some rivals to embrace electrification. The 6e demonstrates that the company is ready to compete seriously in the electric era. Rather than releasing a niche product with significant compromises, Mazda has created a vehicle designed to appeal to a broad audience. It combines elegant styling, premium quality, practical usability, competitive electric performance, and strong value into a single package. That does not mean it is perfect. The suspension still requires refinement, the touchscreen, heavy controls may not appeal to everyone, and some rivals offer greater outright performance or range. Yet none of those shortcomings overshadow the car's strengths. The foundation is unquestionably strong. The design turns heads, the interior feels genuinely upscale, the battery and charging specifications are competitive, and the practicality exceeds expectations. Most importantly, it feels like a vehicle that has been thoughtfully developed rather than rushed to market simply to satisfy regulations. In the end, the 2026 Mazda 6 could become one of the most important electric vehicles in Mazda's history. It brings back the spirit of the Mazda 6 in a form suited to the modern automotive landscape, while offering a compelling alternative to established electric rivals. If Mazda can finalize the suspension tuning, maintain aggressive pricing, and deliver the quality shown in early prototypes, the 6e has every opportunity to become a major success. For buyers seeking a stylish, premium, and practical electric sedan that offers something different from the usual choices, the Mazda 6e looks extremely promising. It may not completely redefine the segment, but it does not need to. Instead, it delivers a well-rounded package that combines the strengths of a trusted automotive brand with the technology and efficiency expected from a modern electric vehicle. And if the final production version lives up to its potential, the Mazda 6 could prove that Mazda's electric future is brighter than ever.